Hello everyone, Namaste. I'm Ajitesh and I'm the CEO of ASBL. So today I'm really happy to get in touch with you for another season of ROTC, the ASBL Spire edition. So just mind my voice. I've just got a little cold. I've started developing from yesterday, so I'm really sorry for that. So yeah, let's get started with the ROTC. So I'll give you a little brief about the entire presentation flow. Roughly, I'll be presenting for around 30-35 minutes, in which first I'll talk about the most important thing which has been on everyone's mind, the clubhouse and everything about it, the design, the progress about the clubhouse. Then I'll talk about a little bit about the handover process, what is it that we are doing there, and then probably around the another elements like OC or occupancy certificate and stuff like that, and then we'll move into questions. So I'll fairly try to keep my presentation around 30 minutes. I'll not talk too much this time, and then we'll have a long Q&A session. So that I think that way it would be better, right? So let's first address the elephant in the room. Everything about the clubhouse, right? So I've been our CRM team has been intimating me that people have customers have a lot of queries about the clubhouse. What's up with the progress of the clubhouse, what's up with the design and all of that stuff. So let's start this presentation with with the clubhouse design, right? So this is how the clubhouse is going to look. So we've got a broad rendering done. So it's around G+3 floors, and it has got all the amenities which were mentioned in the brochure. And on top of that, I think we have added the work for a small co-working space as well. So with one conference room. So this is how the clubhouse is going to look. This is the imagery of the clubhouse. This is the night render, and this is the entrance gateway. So we have designed a water fountain at the entrance gateway to really add to the entire arrival experience, something which are very particular. Right, so let me now dissect the entire thing into the 2D. First, let me explain at the 2D level. Then I will be showing the imagery, the renders, so that you can know how it's going to look. So this is how the clubhouse will look on the ground floor. So we have got a big reception and entrance lounge, which is where guests and which will be manned by the facilities team or the security here. This is where the guests and residents can meet and greet. And in the first floor itself, we have set up a co-working center. This was not there in the brochure, but because this project was planned in 2019, that was before the pandemic, and post-pandemic we have seen that this has become quite a needed needed amenity. So we have added the co-working station / business center in the ground floor with one cabin which people can book through the app and use that. So this will support the work from home thing. So this is so the first floor essentially has the entire reception lobby, the waiting lobby, and the co-working center. So right, so this section is about the reception, the waiting lobby, and this is a co-working space. So this would be coming with all state-of-the-art facility, and even like things like stationery we felt was very important. Like when we probed customers, they mentioned that they should have like a printing station and a stationery sort of stuff there. Right, so this is now, let's move into the imagery part. So how is that space going to look? Right, so this is how the entrance, the reception center will look. Right, and we have done again this clubhouse as well, like all our clubhouses, be it Spectra, Loft or Springs, has been designed by Mr. H.P. Lakani, who is one of the top interior architect in the city. So we are using all his expertise to come up with the best clubhouse in this customer category. Right, this is how the reception lobby would be looking. Right, so these are all the different images from different angles, and you can expect the space would be roughly, I would say 99% it will look similar to this one. Maybe minor things here and there might get improvised as we keep doing it, but I would say 95 to 99% it's going to look like this. This is how it's going to look and feel. So this is the imagery of the waiting lobby and with the furniture. And we'll be sharing all these imagery also with you guys post this discussion, so that everybody can go through that. So we've been using very plush materials. I think the flooring we're using in this floor is Italian marble, so it will really add to the entire luxurious feel what people can sense as they move into this waiting into this center, right? So this is the rendering of the co-working spaces. I believe there are close to 10 co-working spaces. That's what we could fit in given the space constraint, because this was not planned earlier. Mind you, Spire was planned in the year 2019 and we started work in 2020. So because the clubhouse wasn't conceptualized early on, so we could tweak some elements of the design. Again, sticking to what we have committed, also we had to put into design, and then we carved out space for co-working spaces. This is the discussion room, the meeting room, which the residents can book via the resident app, which will be developed, which is already developed by ASBL, and it would be we'll be doing a sort of a demo session to the customers once post handover or just closer to handover, so they can book this meeting room via the app and utilize this for any of their meetings which they want to attend and things like that. I think, yeah, these are all the renders. Right now, let's move on to the first floor. So the first floor has the entire swimming pool, which is approximately 31 feet by 70 feet in length, and the kids pool is around 38.5 by 15.5 feet, and the pool deck is around another 20 odd feet by 50 feet. So essentially the first floor has been designed in a way to cater to the entire, I would say, the gym and the health and fitness section of the clubhouse. So it has the swimming pool with the dress changes, and it has a gym as well in this floor. So this is how the floor plan is laid out in this particular floor. Right, and now let's move into the imagery part. Now this is a 2D plan. How is it going to look in the how will it look? So the renders. So this is the swimming pool. This is the gym. And post this meeting in the probably the document what we'll be sharing regarding this, we'll mention all the specification to wherever necessary. We'll mention all the specification also, because now almost all the work orders are allotted, so you'll be knowing what sort of materials we are using. So so that layer of information also will be providing post this discussion. And I believe most of the material, the gym equipment, particularly we have taken top brands like Life Fitness. So we have not compromised anywhere. We want to give our customers great experience. Right. So these are the renders of the swimming pool. And the pool deck from the kids pool viewpoint. This is the pool deck. This is the gym space. This is more the circuit or the cardio section. This is the strength training studio. Right, now let's move on to the second floor. In the second floor, this is how the space is sort of divided. So there is a big supermarket, approximately close to 1,000 square feet of supermarket space. Right, then we have a big indoor games area where there will be table tennis boards and billiards boards and sort of a semi-amphitheater sort of sitting space. And we are planning to put in more child-related amenities here, so that it can add on to the kids. It can cater to the kids age group as well. And then there's a badminton court, so this will be a double height, and we have gone for a Olympic standard court. It's a wooden court, and we'll be mentioning the the entire specification also posts this. And then we have one yoga and fitness studio where you can do like more free body exercises like yoga, zumba, aerobics, stuff like that. So the second floor too is essentially for again your health and fitness, apart from the utilities, which is the supermarket, right? And then it comes with its own set of changing rooms. I'm sorry, the toilets and everything. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. So now let's. So this is the entire indoor games section. So it will have table tennis, couple of table tennis boards and a big billiards board, and caroms and all will be provided. And we are even trying to make the space really engaging for all age groups, right? Especially what we have been seeing is we need more space for kids in the age group of probably 3 to 7, because they run around a lot in the house. And probably this will add like an add-on space for them where they can we are trying to even put facilities for them as well, like something like a playpen we are exploring. Hopefully we should be able to fit in. So, and then there's the amphitheater sort of and even sort of a books and newspaper area where people can just this is where the community can just come together and hang out when the weather is not, when it's raining or sort of it's too hot outside. So it's like a indoor community space, right? So then there's a badminton court. So it's a full-fledged Olympic standard badminton court. So it's got all the probably it's a wooden flooring and with all the cushiony stuff which is required. And I think the vendor also we have given for Ibaco. Ibaco is the best vendor in this field and the top vendor in the country. We will be providing the specification in detail. And then there's the yoga fitness room. So people can do free body exercises here, more like aerobics, yoga and stuff like that. And this is the supermarket. This was a very important amenity, I realized, from a utility standpoint. So we got a good size one, right? So that's what this floor constitutes. So this is the second floor of the clubhouse. Now let's move into the imagery. How does this place look? Right. So this is how the yoga and the yoga and the Zumba room or the aerobics room is going to look like. Again, we really catered to as much as possible to multi-form of exercises. As you have seen in the previous floor, the first floor, there it's principally your cardio studio and your strength training studio. Here you have more like a free body exercises. You can do your circuit training or things like group classes, because we've been observing that these days group classes are probably doing better than individual form of training. So this space can even accommodate for such a functionality. So this is the shuttle court. It will be double height. Right, now let's move on to the third floor. The third floor is where we fit in the community, the multi-purpose hall to facilitate for all the events and sort of parties which residents would be hosting. So it's got close to around 150 to 160 persons community hall with an attached dining area and a buffet counter and attached the kitchen and pantry. See, one thing what we learned from our previous projects was when we were giving multi-purpose like the party hall or the multi-purpose hall, it's very, very important to plan for the entire the kitchen related infrastructure, the pantry infrastructure there, because we've been seeing that's where there's a lot of spillovers or unplanned place will create a lot of problems. So in this we have a dedicated kitchen area where probably the corresponding chefs can come and they can do preheating of their food and set it up. Of course they can't cook food here, right, but they can do preheating and setting up the entire the dinner stuff and all can be done from here. And there's a dedicated buffet counter and dining area as well. So principally the top floor, that is the third floor, is predominantly about the community hall and its ecosystem. So this is some of the images of how the community hall is going to look like. They're all different from different views. So we have really upped the game even in the even in the multi-purpose hall, because it's one area which is like a statement to the project, right? This is one area where a lot of guests would be coming in from outside, and residents would really want to have a top-notch space. So that's how we designed it, like in a very luxury and a very posh hotel manner. This is the outside, the entire dining and dining area outside the multi-purpose hall. Right, so now we are done with the clubhouse. So let's move on to the next stage. That is, what's up with the handovers, and every detail about it. So first of all, what we have done with regarding to the handover, learning from our past experiences, was okay. This time we brought in a professional, professional vendor on board. So CBRE is on board to handle the entire facility management, right? So they will CBRE comes with a lot of know-how about facility management. As you know, they're one of the, I think they're the biggest facility management company in the city as of now, handling various projects across the city. So we bring in all their best practices. So CBRE is on board, so they will be responsible for a smooth transitioning between ASBL and customers, right? So CBRE, like roughly we have got a property manager in place who is around 18 years of experience. So he has got total depth of the technical aspects of the facility, like your STPs, your lifts, your WTPs, and all your mechanical ventilation stuff. So he understands all the equipments, right? And then there's a customer relations manager who's 19 years of experience, and there'll be several other team members as well. But these two are predominantly what, as customers and as residents, you will be facing, right? So they come with almost close to 2 decades of experience. Right, so let's talk a little bit about quality assurance process. So how will this entire process of handover be done? Yeah, so first therell be a snag audit which will be done by CBRE team and ASBL's quality team as well. Right, our internal PMC team and CBRE together would be doing a snag audit, and all the snag issues would be reported to ASBL. Right, all of these things are being done as of now. Right, and once that is done, then we'll be inviting the resident to come and do their layer of quality check, whatever they observe or whatever they want us to rectify and things like that, right? So level 2 would be the quality checks which would be done by the residents pre-handover, and then once the resident's snag is also completed and the resident is happy to take it, that's when the final handover would be facilitated by both ASBL and CBRE. So this is a 3-tier system. So first, detailed audit would be done by CBRE and ASBL quality team. Right, and then all those snags will be rectified. Then we will be calling in the customer. The customer would be doing another layer of checks before he takes possession. And then once those things are resolved, that is when we will be giving the possession. So it's a 3-tier process. So we'll be starting the handovers from 1st of November in batches. We expect to do close to around excuse me. We expect to do close to around 80 odd handovers in the month of November, and another 150 in the month of December, and probably the rest in the month of Jan. So probably in 3 months we will be finishing the entire 393 flats ka handover. Right. So let me give a broad update about utilities, because I've got information from CRM that customers, residents are asking about update on each of these things. So principally utilities we have categorized into 3 sections. What's up with water, everything got to do with water. What's up with electricity, and then what's up with gas, right? So first let's delve into water. So the STP and WTP is commissioned, and we will be starting its operations once the first move-in is achieved, because there's no point starting the operations earlier because the warranty period will get over. So they're all commissioned and ready to be deployed, but we'll be switching on the machines once the move-ins are begun. Then another key aspect what I need to mention is what's up with the HMDA occupancy certificate. So the occupancy certificate we will be applying in the month of November. Roughly it takes around 6 to 10 weeks. Might move plus or minus couple of weeks given that there's election coming up. So, but apart from that, we don't see any major sort of a hindrance there. So in the month of November, we'll be applying for HMDA OC, right? And next, what's up with Manjeera pipeline? So with regarding Manjeera pipeline, the process is, First we need to apply, once we get HMDA occupancy certificate, then we need to submit that form to the Hyderabad Metro Water Board, and then they will be laying down the pipeline. It takes around 12 to 16 weeks, but I think in the case of Spire it might be little earlier also, because I heard the pipeline is very close by. So it might happen a little earlier, but this is broadly the time what it takes, right? So that would be the Manjeera pipeline, and meanwhile there are close to 3 borewells, and the water supply from these borewells has been very good. I think maybe the lake is acting like an aquifer, maybe probably refilling the water wells below earth. But yeah, all the 3 bores have been doing very well. So those are all connected, up and running. And then the STP, WTP systems, as I mentioned, are also up and running. We will be switching on those machines once there is a movement, so that the entire warranties will start from then. Right? So that's got everything to do with water. And the Manjeera pipeline, once we get occupancy certificate, we will be applying to the Metro Water Board, and it should take around, on tops, around 12 to 16 weeks to get it. As far as work from our side regarding that, we'll have to pay the fees, and regarding the piping connection, that's all done. We'll be paying the fees once we get the OC, and then we'll be liaising with the government to expedite that thing, right? So this is everything got to do with water. Now let's move to electricity. What's up with electricity? Oh, sorry. Before I move on, so this is a broad imagery about the WTP, STP, and various such pumping rooms which have been established. There's one final layer of painting what we'll have to do here, but apart from them, all the work here is done. Right, now let's move on to electricity. What's up with electricity? Currently, because it's an under construction project, there is a commercial power license for it, right? So, and regarding the DG, that has been commissioned, and it's on site and it's commissioned. So once again there are move-ins, once handover is done, the DG will be switched on, and probably it will be used as and when there's a power cut. So yeah, coming back. So currently the entire project is in under construction phase. So there's commercial power license which is given, and we have been using that for the last 3-4 years from when the project has begun. The CIEG approval, which will convert the commercial power to residential power, that would be applied again post occupancy certificate, because occupancy certificate is a required document for it. So once we get the occupancy certificate, we will be applying for the we will be applying for the CIEG approval, which will change from the commercial power to the residential power. And again, this once we pay the fees post OC, this should take around 8 to 12 weeks on tops, right? So basically, once I think the commercial power is charged high, and once it comes to residential power, it will be charged low. That's how it is. So once we get the HMD OC, we'll be applying for that, right? So that's up with electricity, and I'll be showing all the DG rooms. The DGs are all commissioned and ready. They're ready to work. So that's all this work is done. Again, one final layer of painting is remaining in all these particular rooms. So this is the entire electrical panel room. Once again commissioned totally. Regarding the gas bank would be commissioned in the month of January. Why? Because to commission the gas bank, we need to finish the entire landscape work, and the landscape work would be roughly finished by late December to probably December, January. So by the time the landscape is done, the gas bank also would be done. So once the first move-ins are there, by that time the gas bank should be commissioned, and people on the first move-in itself, they will be experiencing piped gas, right? So this is broadly about all the utilities, the water, the electricity, and the gas, right? So most of the things are, except gas. In water and electricity, it's linked to occupancy certificate. Once we get that, we will be taking in the permanent Manjeera connection for water, and for electricity, from migrating it from commercial power use to residential power use, that also would be done post occupancy certificate. Most of these things from our side, the work is done. We will be paying the fees to the government and liaising with them. It should take anywhere around 12 weeks plus minus 4 weeks here and there, right? And yeah, many people have asked us about EV charging. So what's up with it, and what are we doing regarding it? So regarding the EV charging, we are giving 11 EV slots spread across 4 basements. Most basements have 3 EV slots, right? People can go and charge their vehicle there. So currently we are working with these 3 vendors. We are hopeful we'll be finalizing one of them by end of this month, right? So So that's what we're doing with EV charging. And some of you have asked, like, why aren't we giving EV charging for all car parks? See, the thing with this is, this project has been planned in 2019. In 2019, we did not identify that as a use case, and hence this building is not planned for having all the car parks as electric charge. And even with electrical, because see, to give that also we need to have more space, right? Again, had we planned earlier, we could have done that, but this was not there in our requirement list, and neither did we mention it in our brochure, right? So because if we are putting in all car park EV charging now, the problem is we need to have much bigger and additional transformers, right, which will eat into further space on the podium. That is one point, so we cannot do it now, right? And second thing is, with all car parks having EV charging, there are certain issues also which are coming up, especially that is why we are also considering in every project, like Spectra, we have committed every project will have EV charging, hence we are giving that. But in Loft we are sort of exploring should that be given, because the problem with this is there will be different set of transformers for this entire EV charging section, right? And these are big transformers, so which will have a minimum amount of electric charging load, right? So because of which what's happening is, even for customers who are not using it, there is a default electricity which the transformer consumes for self-charging. Because, like for example, because of that, what's going to happen is for somebody who has the EV car charging and they're using, it's well and fine for them. They'll be billed on whatever units they consume. But for somebody who do not have a EV car, even they will be billed 400 to 500 rupees, because that is the default power consumption of the transformer. So that is one particular problem with the EV, for every car park having a EV car charge. Even though people don't use it, they might have to pay 400 rupees a month, because the transformer just consumes that level of electricity. So that is one of the problem with all car parks having EV charging. So those are some of the pros and cons. But yes, in regarding Spire, there will be 11 EV slots. Probably one amongst these vendors, either it will be Adani EV charging or Bolt or GoGo. One of them we are finalizing by this month end, so they will be operating these EV slots, and it will be pay as per use, just like in any other communities. And these EV slots are spread across all the 4 basements. Approximately 4 per basement is what it is. I think one of the basement has 2, but yeah, approximately 3 per basement. 3 per basement. In one of the basement there are 2, but yeah, I think that should roughly suffice for it. And regarding the charging also, just to mention, we are putting in a 17 kilowatt chargers. So this will take approximately 2 to 3 hours to charge 100%. I believe it takes around 2 hours to charge 80%. That's what these vendors have been saying. Again, why we are not putting super fast chargers, something which charges in 20 minutes, is that it is more fire hazardous, right? From a safety standpoint, these vendors and our consultants have told that in basements it's better not to put it. Right, that's why we are not putting superchargers, but nevertheless these are 17 kilowatt chargers. So using these in couple of hours, you can charge almost 80% of your battery, right? So that's what we are doing regarding EV charging. Next, regarding some of the approval what we have already got. So the building has got fire occupancy certificate. So you can even scan the particular QR code there and see all the further details of the entire approval. I'll just take a step at this slide. So we have obtained the fire occupancy certificate from the fire department on 8th of September. So this is a particular certificate, and you can do the QR scan in case anybody needs to further get into the details of it. So this has been done, completed. Right. So I'll move on to the next one. So now roughly that I've concluded my side of the presentation. So before we move on into the Q&A section, let's take a live tour of what's happening around the project, right? What's up with the project. Fine, I think, so yeah, let's start with the question. Great, so as you've seen in the video also, right, so the landscape works have begun at full scale. So I expect we'll be finishing most of the landscape works by, by I would say mid-Jan, right, almost 50 to 60% would be completed by end of November, and then we would be applying for OC. One reason why we have to start the landscape work little late is because, and this is for every project, this is because until we get the fire occupancy certificate, we cannot do the landscape works. That's how it happens here. So yeah, now that we achieved, we got the fire occupancy certificate, we have begun the landscape works at full swing on both sides of the building. So hopefully by the time you guys move in, right, which will be post your interiors, it will be totally completed, right? So now let's get on to the questions. What is the tentative timeline on the 100 feet road? We don't see progress from the last 3-4 months after adding the boards. So sir, regarding the 100 feet road, I think it should happen maybe post election. We have also spoken, with the concerned agency in the government, and they were very upbeat. I think 3-4 months back. At least the good thing is majority of the road acquisition is done. As you can see on the ground also, all the respective sites have moved their boundary in accordance with this. Given that the land acquisition is something which takes more time, given that the land acquisition is done, I think it should move more faster. But I cannot say a particular timeline because it's scope of the government, and sometimes given that now there's elections coming up, so the priority might change for some time, but I think it should be done reasonably soon, given that this is one of a major link road to Neopolis. So I'm expecting it to be probably happen much faster, and the good thing is at least most of the land acquisition is done, so laying of a road doesn't take much time. But yeah, with government, given that elections coming up, the priority would have changed, but hopefully they'll be able to do it. We'll also try coordinating with them. Right, and then 1 second. When can we expect the flat handover? We want to have housewarming in the second week of November. Do you allow for that? So ma'am, sir, so with regarding to the flat handover, it will be done in batches, right? So I wouldn't particularly know what is your flat number. But if it happens in that batch, then you can probably take it. If not, it might take whenever that particular batching is done. We are trying to do it in a batch-wise manner of 80 to 100 flats, so that it's more seamless and it moves much more easily. We notice there are cracks outside of some flat. Maybe know the reason why they are. So these are, first of all, these are shrinkage cracks, 1 mm cracks, and 98% there wouldn't be any issue. And we have got again tested with the consultant as well. Right, so there wouldn't be any problem with these cracks. Right, we have noticed multiple cracks. I have answered the same thing. Right, will gate security be from my gate or anything else? Regarding the entire resident facility app, it would be our app which ASBL would be developing, so it can seamlessly interact with all the entire ecosystem, right? One part where it will be even better than MyGate is also that the entire maintenance logs and everything which we also would be there inside this app. And even when the particular facility was being constructed, all the thread data also would be there in this. So it will be one unified ASBL app through which residents can manage their entire facility, right? And when are we allowed to visit our own flats? We have been told that a visit would be allowed beginning May, but not permitted. Okay, so regarding the visit onto the flats, I think I'm sorry for the miscommunication. I don't know who have mentioned visit would be allowed from beginning of May. That's not true. Sir, regarding the being allowed to your own flat, so you can once the CRN team would be intimating you to come and come and inspect your flat. That day you can come and inspect the flat, and don't worry, after you inspect, you might be raising some snags, and after fulfilling all the snags, only you will be taking the possession, right? It's not like we'll be giving the flat, we'll be showing the flat to you and pushing you to take possession. No, it will not be like that. So once the CRN team intimates upon completion of the work, you can come and inspect, right? And if you find any snags, you can raise the snag, our team will rectify that, and only upon complete satisfaction you can take over of the position. Okay, and until then, see, it's a under construction site. There can be safety hazards, and there will be multiple hazards at site, and so that's why we do not permit any customers onto the premises during under construction. Can we have a tennis court as the clubhouse terrace looks empty? No, sir, a tennis court would not fit on the clubhouse terrace, and so a tennis court will not be there in this facility. It cannot fit on top of that. Right. During the interior work, will the workers be able to use a service lift? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. The workers will be able to use the service lift also. And regarding this also, one point I would like to, it's a good question, one point I would like to mention, right, is that so the interior workers, when they're doing the interior work, right, they take all the debris and the dust and put it in the garbage chute. Please don't do that. The garbage chutes, one are not supposed to put interior debris in the garbage chutes. They're not, I mean, that's not their usage, and sometimes it really chokes the entire garbage chute and spoils the entire equipment, and sometimes it might even do create a fire hazard. So please educate your interior laborers, and more so over, what we are even planning to do is, besides the service lift, in every floor we'll be giving a big debris bin, right? So where it's like a big garbage basket. So they can put all the interior debris in that. So just please be mindful about that. And moreover, we will even be we'll even be issuing a sort of a resident handbook in which we will be mentioning the do's and don'ts with various various equipments and various spaces of the building. So please go through that, and any doubt is there, please let us know. We will explain. But please educate your interior contractors so that it can really help all of us. Right? When are you planning to complete the clubhouse 100% functional? So we are probably by Jan we should be able to finish everything. We have a internal target of by first week of Jan, but I would say predominantly by end of Jan it should be done. So again, by the time most of the residents do their move-in, right, post handover, by the time they do their move-in, again the first set of residents, by that time the clubhouse would be ready. So by end of Jan the clubhouse would be totally ready. Right. Next, the roof of apparent and the clubhouse, the roof of what is the plan or design to make it usable space? Sir, the roof is not a usable space as per the design, right? There is, I believe, there is a water tank, and there is service staff can go there, access the space for cleaning purpose. But this roof of the clubhouse is not for usage. Another reason also is that the architect, the interior architect, Mr. Lakhani, didn't want a peripheral, parapet wall also, because that would disturb his elevation. So the roof is only for services usage, not for resident usages. And the same thing applies even to the apartment, the tower car roof also. There will be several sort of service equipments running from there. So those are only for service access. The roof of this clubhouse is not for resident access. Right? How many flats are you left with? After charging the price 10K, how many did you sell? Do you think 10K units will attract customers? Of course, sir, we believe 10K plus customers will be attracted to this. That's why, and we hope we will do it, and that's why we put it. And also, I feel, see, I'm much more bullish on this area. In probably, post handover, maybe in a couple of quarters' time, it will be definitely selling at a higher price. And given that we changed the price recently, we have not yet done any closures, but leads are in the pipeline. And given that we are just left with the mortgage flats, we intend to sell only when we get the rate. So that's our thing, and we are very confident we'll achieve the rate. What is the order of handover of flats? Which floors start first? So, sir, this our team would be probably sharing with you post this discussion. As far as my knowledge, if I'm not wrong, I think from fourth, I think handovers will start from the fourth floor. So we have divided the tower into two wings, right? And we have separate teams handling both the handovers. From 401 to 405 is one team, like that is from first flat to the fifth flat is one team, and then sixth flat to 11th flat is one team. So in the first set of handovers, I think we will be doing from approximately 401 to 405, and probably from there till around 15th floor. So flat numbers from 1 to 5, starting from the 4th floor to 15th to 16th floor would be happening in the month of November. And thereafter our team will be probably sharing with you what are the batches of handover. 1 mm spacer is not used in the bathroom and in the hall. Due to this, we can have a seepage issue going. Please fix it. Blood before. Sir, so I think all the flooring, we have used 2 mm spacer joints, and in the bathroom, I'll just verify, but don't worry, there will not be any seepage issues. We have got all that, we will be doing all the testings before that. I think in the bathroom, particularly in the wall cladding, it's a tile, it's a paper joint, so there will not be any spacer joint, which adds to the aesthetic. And regarding the flooring of the bathroom, let me find and come back. But I think the rest of the apartment is 2 mm spacer joint, and there is a multi-layer of waterproofing, epoxy layer or something like that put on top. Again, I'll find out in particular what exactly we are doing before handover, right? But we are testing for all sort of seepage issues, all sort of several issues. So all of that would be identified in the pre-checking itself, and then again the same thing would be repeated by CBRE also, before we call the customer for inspection. So you can be rest assured 98% of these issues will not come up. Right, where are the guest rooms provided? Sir, I think there are 3 guest rooms provided in the tower. Right, again the interiors of that also would be done by Mr. Lakani, so it would be on par with, I would say it would be much better than anything which is out there currently. So yeah, there will be 3 guest rooms which will be provided, and within the tower. Right, Spire a wheelchair friendly apartment. Please provide 2 wheelchairs in the community. Sure, ma'am. Sure, sir. I think we'll take this feedback, and yes, we will provide 2 wheelchairs in the community. And I think most accessways have ramps, at least in the basements they have. I'll just find out even what's up on the podium level as well also. But yes, that's a good suggestion. We will provide for a couple of wheelchairs in the community. I could see water storage sump are near the entry and exit points of parking. So if you get a water tanker, it will block the passage. I'll find out about this, sir, but I don't think there should be any particular problem whatsoever, right? But any which ways, I'll find out about this. Can outside instructors come in and teach yoga or Zumba? Sir, so regarding the entire facilities usage and third party service providers who will be coming in to serve the residents, we will make a concrete, I think there's a concrete policy which is made and which will be shared with the customers at the time of sale deed. So based on that it would be done, and more so over once the RWA is formed and the community is handed over to the RWA, then the RWA would be deciding the entire rules of it. But yeah, I think I'm sure that outside yoga and Zumba instructors can come. But let me look into this in particular. Okay. And then when will the 2-year maintenance for the residents kick in? Hope it is at the same time for all residents once everything is promised and handed over. Sir, regarding the maintenance kick-in period, just like in all communities, why all handovers is not possible is because some people might take the handover too late, or some people might not be in the country, some people might just want to hold it off and probably sell it off. Each to their own, they have a different use case and point of view. So it will not be once all handovers are done. I think we will be starting the maintenance period post completion of 50% of the handovers. Okay. And are we allowed to move the electrical boards? I am not particular which particular electrical boards you're talking about, sir. Is this the DB which is there in your apartment? If it is a DB in your apartment, no, you cannot move it, sir, because it's all, as you know, this is a shear wall construction, so it's all part of the part of the mold casting itself. So you will not be able to move the electrical boards if it is regarding to the apartment. If it is regarding to the basements also, those are all fixed, sir. Those are all as per the designs given by the consultants. We will not be able to shift that, right? We could also see the sink size is not more than 1 feet in width. Can we get a little bigger one? Which particular, sir, regarding the sink size, so this is all as per the standards, what equipments what we have been giving. So I would suggest you maybe once you move in, you can take a look at it. But no, sir, at this point we will not be able to change that. Right, where are the guest rooms? Sir, I mentioned this. The guest rooms are there within the tower. Right, there will be 3 guest rooms which will be provided in the ground floor of the tower. Will the project be in livable state by January to move in completely post it? Yes, sir, absolutely. The project would be in total livable state by January once you move in. Right, so you can we are working towards it, and you can be assured that we will end up doing it. With respect to Manjeera water. With respect to Manjeera water, communities are relying predominantly on Manjeera with dedicated pipeline for majority use, rather than borewell. What is the width of the Manjira pipeline? Sir, so with regarding to the Manjira pipeline, we do not and cannot have any direct say on that. Once we apply, the process is once we apply for the Metro Water Board, their officials will come and they will do a study of, basis on the number of residents. There is a particular formula, right? On basis of that, they come up with the pipeline thickness. So we as a developer cannot have a direct, we as a community cannot directly demand that, okay, I want X inch of water pipeline. We cannot do that. It will be done purely by the authorities. However, having said that, we will liaison to get the maximum possible, but directly we cannot do anything because that's not the process of the government, right? Next, do we have a foosball table in indoor games? Also, box cricket will be helpful. Sir, at least for the box cricket, there is no space, sir, for the box cricket, and for foosball table, sure, sir, we'll take it into. I'll take it into account and we'll see if we can provide for them. Given that it's not a very big thing, mostly we should be able to do it, right? Thank you for the suggestion. Will other projects be built nearby by ASBL or someone else, as that could cause an obstruction for viewing of the Kokapet Lake? Sir, so we are again looking for lands in this area. So, we will be building in case we get a land there, right? And other builders also are looking in this area, as this area has become very prominent real estate and residential destination. Other buildings would be coming up in the vicinity. Regarding to what extent it would be blocking the view, that would depend purely on the master plan of those particular the neighborhood projects which will come up. But yeah, a lot of other builders, including us, we are looking for land in that area. When will the entrance gate be completed? Seems like the boundary walls are also not done yet completely, given the handover is not again. So the entry gate and all of this is part of the landscape design, sir. So as I mentioned earlier, by Jan all the works would be completed, including the entrance gate, the compound walls, everything would be completed, right? Will there be any construction coming up in the greenery we have on the west side? Sir, again, as of now, nothing is planned, and given that probably it's a very narrow patch of land, I don't think another high-rise building can fit in that. That's my understanding. But again, we don't know, depending on that particular project and the particular architect, they might have a different viewpoint. But at least on the onset, that's my viewpoint. Given that it's very narrow, I don't know to what extent the height of the building which will be coming there can be, but we never know actually, right? Up until today, I don't see any entrance elevation. Is it something planned? And you can share with the owners. Sure, sir, we are done with all the planning, and all the work orders and purchase orders also have been allotted. So the work is in full pace. Actually, I think in one of the first clubhouse render, what we have mentioned, it does cover this particular entrance gate and everything. But I'll ask the team to share it with you post the discussion. Whatever renders we have got it done, we'll put it out there. Can we please plan accommodate box cricket? Sir, so essentially for box cricket, there's no space. I mean, box cricket needs a much wider space, and there is, it cannot fit in the clubhouse. Would you allow changing the flooring? Sir, post handover, you can change the flooring. It's all up to you. Whatever flooring you want, you could use, but that would be post handover, sir. Can we please get a tennis court on the terrace of the clubhouse? Tennis court is 900. Sir, regarding the tennis court, I'm sorry, it will not fit on the top of the clubhouse, right? That's not the width of the tennis court will not come there, width and length, so it will not be possible, sir. By when can we expect the completion of clubhouse, all functions? Again, I mentioned this, sir. By end of January, everything. By the time the first move-in happens in Jan, by end of Jan, everything would be done. The landscape would be done. The clubhouse also would be done, right? I see latest price for Spire as 9,900. How much further appreciation can we expect? So regarding appreciation, I would say I cannot say that. It's a speculative thing. But my viewpoint is, see, all our mortgage units, what's remaining, we expect a good return, we expect a good pricing on that in the next couple of quarters, right? So at least from my personal viewpoint, again, this is not the company's viewpoint, as a personal viewpoint, I would say I'm more bullish on the price. I do see more upper side on that, right? Does this mean that regular water will be available only after 6 months post handover? Again, coming back to this, the bores are fully functional, so I don't foresee any major problem. One, I think there's a good aquifer, looks like there's a good aquifer underneath, so the bores are totally functional. There was never a problem even while construction, right? So, but having said that, yes, roughly it will take around 6 months post handover to get the permanent water connection, because that's what the process is. Only after getting approval can we apply for the Metro Water Board, and they will be taking around 12 to 16 weeks to lay the pipeline, which will be purely their scope. We cannot do anything there. We have to just pay the fees, and they will only be getting it done through their vendors. That's how the process is. Having said that, we liaison with the government to expedite, but yes, you're right. Roughly, it's good to provision 6 months post handover. Yes. Please talk about cracks. Sir, again, I mentioned about cracks. These are all shrinkage cracks. There will not be any problem whatsoever with that. And upon your quality inspection, you can also detailedly check through any of these things. And in fact, we have even got a report from our structural consultant and shared with the group also. I'll ask the team to again share it with you as well, sir. I can rest assure you there will not be any problem with the cracks whatsoever. These are all less than 1 mm cracks. These are called shrinkage cracks. There will not be any problem with that. Right? What is the outside badminton? What is the outside badminton provision for? Any other useful fitness related amenities like tennis, squash could be added. Sir, the badminton court we have moved from outside to within the clubhouse, because outside, it's not a great experience to play badminton court, given that there will be quite a strong winds and the shuttlecock keeps moving here and there. That's why, upon suggestion from the consultant, we moved it into the clubhouse. And in the badminton, we are providing for outdoor gym area, so that's already we have taken care of that. And that in that space, a tennis court will not fit, sir. A tennis court will not fit in a badminton court, right? It will be nice if you have a home theater in the clubhouse. No, sir, a home theater is not planned for. See what happens with all the space planning is we need to do it very much up earlier, right? So most of the projects, like for example, Spire, what you're seeing now, it was conceptualized in the year 2019. So we gathered requirements in 2019, and then once we start building, there's not many changes what we can do. Luckily, the thing what we could provision, what we could give is the work from the co-working spaces, right? So that we could at least try and fit in. But yeah, a home theater would not be cannot fit in the clubhouse, right? And again, we have not mentioned it, just so that we are on the same page. We have not mentioned it in the brochure as well, right? So we have tried. I felt the co-working space would be more used and utilized. Hence, we have given for that. Any provision for ATM and vegetable shop. So the vegetable shop would be part of the supermarket set. The supermarket vendor would be servicing for all the daily utilities and the vegetables as well. And regarding ATM, we'll try, sir, because typically I'll get back on this. We'll try for that, I can say. But the vegetable shop, the supermarket vendor would be providing for. Really appreciate for the session. Looking forward for a wonderful stay at Adreno. Thank you so much, sir. I mean, we are also very keenly looking forward to start the handovers, and this is our first high-rise project, and it's been something very passionate and dear to us, right? And especially over the last quarter, we have been I've been visiting the site more frequently, probably taking notice of all the things, and we want to do it the best which is out there. So thank you so much. We also are really excited to welcome you. Confirmation on supermarket? No, sir, it will not be Ratnadeep, Moore or Spencer, because for Ratnadeep, Moore or Spencer, you will need a minimum of around 900 to 1000 apartments. We have spoken with Ratnadeep, but they will not, they cannot operate here because of the smaller density of the community. We are looking at a couple of vendors. In fact, the vendor who is at one of our existing project, we have got good reviews from them. So we are exploring them. So yeah, the bigger chains cannot operate. We have all floated the entire designs with them, and we have requested to come and operate, but they will not be operating here because of the lower, the business wouldn't work out. It's a smaller size community, right? What about parking for guests that come for the event in multi-purpose, since the capacity of the multi-purpose? Yes, sir, there is adequate parking planned for the entire guests, right? And at various basements. In fact, I think post the meeting, I'll ask the team to share exactly how many car parks did we plan for the guests. Typically, it's around 5 to 6% of the overall car parks. There's a rough metric what we plan for. So I'll ask the team to share it with you. Common car wash area. I'll just find out on this in detail and ask the team to get back to you, sir. I think we are giving 2 or 3, just so that don't quote me on this, but I think we are giving close to 2 to couple of dedicated car wash spots. But I'll ask the team. I'll ask the team to get back to you, particularly on this. Why is building elevation color has changed from what has been shown in the brochures? Sir, it's closer to what's shown in the brochure. Sir, it might happen that the particular, the color shade sometimes what's shown in the brochure when it's printed versus what's out there might not be exactly, but it's close enough to that, sir. I understand these are shear walls, so no structural change allowed, but we should have the option to select tiles of our choice and additional power outlets. Sir, regarding the entire, the planning process and all, the tiles and all, yes, you can change it, sir. Post handover, every customer can change their tiles, right? So that's not an issue. And power outlets, we have, on the basis of our requirements and design, we have planned for adequate, right? There shouldn't be major problems with that, right? So, but the tiles, the customer can always change post handover. Thank you for restoring my confidence now. Thank you so much, sir. Right. Can the CAD designs detailed measurements be shared of each unit, which will help it to get, sir? Absolutely, sir. That's a very good idea. I'll ask the team to start sharing the CAD drawings of every, CAD drawings of all the flats with the respective owners. That's a good idea. We'll start doing it maybe in a week's time. Single badminton court is not enough for these many flats. Can you try to add it outside? As told before. No, sir. I don't think it's possible outside because I think there's probably it's left for landscape or one of the other spaces. A single badminton court in a 393 apartment should be majorly sufficient, sir. Again, this does not mean that every instance a customer might find the badminton court to be vacant, but on a major percentage it should be available. Like for example, let me share a perspective, like a project in Popalguda which has close to 2000 apartments. They have 3 badminton courts. So Spire has a much better ratio. So see, sir, with regarding to most of the amenities and facilities, we can plan for a better ratio, right? Resident to amenity ratio, we can make it better, but it cannot be absolute. So a single should be, probably for most of major percentage it should be able to take care, right? Crash daycare room in the clubhouse. No, sir, the crash daycare room has not been planned, and and neither has it been communicated in the brochure. Now it is not possible. Again, 2 reasons, sir. One, the space constraint, right? The clubhouse is already planned and it's done. There is no space there. And second thing with the crash also, sir, given again now that we are working with various vendors, right? Typically people are looking at, most good vendors are looking at around close to 1,000 flats to come and operate, because only then they will have some sort of viability. So that was also another reason why it wasn't planned in the first case. So it's more sort of a smaller community, right, with around 393 flats. So crash is not possible, sir. Will the windows be provided with grills? No, sir, the windows will not be provided with grills. The grills would be the scope of the customer, and we would be giving a standard design just so that it doesn't spoil the elevation of the project. Our team would be sharing the standard design and the customer can get it executed with their vendors. Any possibility of having a medical facility in our community project? I believe it would be a great benefit. So a dedicated medical facility is not possible, sir. But definitely what we can do is maybe we can work out with a particular hospital chain to run health camps on a frequent basis, maybe like a monthly or a bi-monthly basis. That will keep you posted. That's a good idea. And when they come in, they can operate that thing in the multi-purpose hall. You see, typically most of these doctors, when they come in, right? So there's a particular timeline. So that point of time, the multi-purpose hall can be, sort of reserved for that. Like that, we can do it, right? We don't have AC port in dining area. Can we allowed to add AC port out there? No, sir. The AC port is not possible to add there. Again, this is a shear wall structure. So in fact, in the design when we provided for the AC what one, given, for that size of space, if you put a 2-ton AC in the hall, it should suffice even for the dining as well. So both the dining and the living room can be covered with the 2-ton AC, sir. So that should be sufficient. Are we adding a temple? Okay. Any plan to provide, sorry, are we adding a temple? Yes sir, we are adding a temple. So the work on the temple will only start after getting occupancy certificate, right? So a temple would be added on, right? And we are working with GR Swami Trust to operate the entire temple, so that there is a proper procedure of the entire pujas and seva karikrams, and they have a particular calendar also, right? So yes, there will be a temple and it will be a Vishnu avatar, and I'll ask the team to even share the further details like which god are we putting and all of that also we'll be sharing. This question is done. Next, any plans to provide services to help for rental and resale? Sure sir, we directly will not be doing it, but yes, we generally work, there are a couple of rental agencies who have worked with us in our previous projects, and they've done a good sort of work, so they can look into rental. Regarding resale sir, sure, definitely you can forward your details to the CRM team and we will look into it. Given that we'll be running, we'll be getting a lot of leads, we can probably help you in that manner. Definitely you can approach the CRM team, we can be of help. Of course, if you get any better deal or something like that, I would, you can go ahead with it, but yeah, we can help you there. Regarding the rental, yes, there will be an agency with whom we have been working, so they will be there on board, so they will be helping you. And once they are on board, we will be sharing the details also with you. When is the occupancy certificate planned to be requested from concerned authority? Sir, the occupancy certificate, as I mentioned earlier, in the month of November, we will be filing for the occupancy certificate, and it should approximately take 6 to 8 weeks, given that nothing major in this community. It's all built as per plan and fire OC also is achieved. So 6 to 8 weeks, we should be able to get it, and we'll be filing for it in November. However, given that there's election coming, we might expect a couple of 2 to 4 weeks of delay plus and minus. Is the badminton court with AC? Yes sir, as far as I'm concerned, yes, but let me again double check with my team. 1 second, I just find out with Krishna. I'll get back to this by the end of the discussion, sir. Do the planters in the balcony have rules what plants heights are allowed? A tree growing can bring cracks. How do we handle this? Sir, regarding the cracks, don't worry, there won't be any cracks because of this tree. All of that is taken care. Roughly you can put and more so over, I will ask the team to even give a list of recommendation of what plants can come up there. Probably in that we'll mention what can be the size. Approximately around 4 to 6 feet height plant is a decent one. That should not have any problem. But one other thing I would want to add on to this discussion is there won't be any cracks. No need to worry about the cracks at all, right? But this we'll mention even in the resident handbook, right? Once every 5 years, the residents have to remove the soil from the entire the plant box, and just do the waterproofing of that once again, because whatever waterproofing we put, it will have a 5-year lifetime, 7-year lifetime, but I would suggest it's better you do every 5 years. It wouldn't cost much, so you just have to remove the entire soil and apply a layer of waterproofing. That's it, right? Do we have any update on the connecting 100 feet road? As I've mentioned about this, sir. Regarding the 100 feet road, the good thing is most of the land acquisition seems to have been completed, at least in our site and our neighboring site. The left side neighboring side, the land acquisition is completed, and even on the opposite side, the land acquisition is completed. So majority of the land acquisition is completed. So I believe the work should probably move on. Mm-hmm. But given the government's the municipality's preference, it might move a little here and there. But we are also expecting it will be done complete pretty soon, given that it's a major connection to the Neopolis, right? Can we remove the planters, place in the balcony and add something else as per our interests? Sir, so regarding the planter, yes, it's up to you. You don't need to put any plant there, but you cannot remove that thing because it's an RCC wall. You cannot remove that. But yeah, if you don't want a planter there, you can cover it with different furniture and all. That's left up to you, sir. How is car parking allocated, sir? The car parking is allocated by the architect and the traffic consultant right at the beginning of the project. And as a brand, we also feel that the parkings we wanted to allot right up front when the customer was buying, so that there's clear clarity on what parkings he or she is getting. Having said that, all the car parks have been allotted keeping in mind the walk distance from your car to the lift to be minimal, right? So we have allotted car parks in such a way so that the walking distance from your car to the lift is minimal. So that's how it has been done by the architect and parking consultant very early on, like before we even started sales, right? CCTV camera in common areas like corridor, tall amenities, etc. Yes, sir, CCTV cameras will be provided in most of the common areas, right? This we have mentioned in the specification as well, but I'll ask the team to once again share it with you, right? Can there be a dedicated relationship manager to discuss the concerns with Spire is lagging at that? Sure, sir, I will take in this feedback. We'll provide the dedicated, at least post handover, there is a dedicated manager from CBRE side, as I've mentioned in the earlier in the presentation. There will be a dedicated relationship manager who's approximately 20 years of experience post handover from CBRE side. But I'll take this point, sir, and yes, as a brand we will do better at it. We'll provide a dedicated relationship manager. And just to come back, somebody has asked me regarding the AC at the badminton court. No, sir, we will not be providing AC. It's a natural ventilated. Right? There will be jet fans and all, which will take care of the air circulation. Next, do you have any tie-up with interior firms so that can give a discount to Spire owners? No, sir, we do not have any tie-up with interior firms because we felt that different owners will have different tastes. So we've generally seen interiors being interior work to be very diverse. Each resident will get it done according to their taste. But having said that, we will maybe now that you have asked, we will speak with couple of vendors and we'll keep it. But purely, I would say, work with them at your discretion. Please don't work with them because they are builders people, because they need to match your taste, style, and everything. We will keep them as a recommendation, but it's purely your discretion and your responsibility to whether you would like to work with them or not, right? Are the Kone lifts being installed high-speed express lifts using fire tower? Yes, sir, the Kone lifts being installed here are high-speed lifts, right? So the vertical transportation has been well thought through, so one should not be having any major problem with that. We want ASBL to build a reputation like my home in terms of quality and amenities. Sincerely hope Spire gives us that. Absolutely, sir. We are working to be the best, and so we deliver our promises with great quality and in time. In fact, I am also very keenly waiting to hand over to all of you all, and probably in a span of couple of quarters take feedback from you, right? Because the real test of quality is only when, of course, from our standpoint, we have not left any stone unturned. We have developed a robust systems and processes for that, because anything which needs to be executed at scale, and Spire on any average day there were close to 300 laborers working. At least if you look at the last couple of years, there were close to 450 laborers across different works working. So we had a very robust system in place wherein quality issues were checked thoroughly by our engineering team, and then we have a dedicated quality team, right? So there was a dual layer check, and any tickets which came up we solved for all of that, right? So I am hoping, yes, I am very confident and hoping that the quality would be great, but you would be the best people to address that, to answer that. So post handover, yes, I would be very keen to listen to your feedback, which is the real feedback, right? Can we remove the bathroom in one of the bedroom? No, sir, you will not be able to remove the bathroom in one of the bedroom. Again, this is a shear wall structure, so it's a mold casting. All the walls are load bearing, right? Unlike typical structures where only columns take the load, and the brick walls you can probably break it and alter the room sizes or anything like that. This is a shear wall structure, so it's all concrete walls. So any wall in the house is a load bearing structure. Please do not tinker anything with it, because it will add to major safety of the entire community. We will be mentioning these points in the handbook as well. Please do not disturb or tinker with the concrete walls. They take the load of the building. Please don't do that. It would be nice if you have a cable. Wash area entrance door is too small, where 8 kg and above washing machines or dishwasher will not fit through it. Can this be changed as per max dimensions? No, sir. Again, all of this work has been completed, and again the size of the wash area, right, will be, that's again casted in concrete. So we cannot change that. I'll take this as a feedback for future projects to probably design bigger one, but I think the one which we have designed should facilitate the movement of putting of major size washing machines. Maybe an 8 kg one would not fit in, and I'm sorry for that. Probably next time we'll improvise that. Thank you for the feedback. it would be nice if we have a cable machine in the gym. Sure, sir. I'll try looking into this because again, most of the work regarding to placing the work orders and all the orders have been placed. I'll see what's the best we can do at this point of time. Thank you. What documentation will be shared with landowners and by when? Sir, so basically there will be I think as we move closer to the handover process, there would be a sale deed documentation which would be shared, and subsequent along with that there will be various bylaws of the community document would also be shared in that. So, and if at all any more documents are shared, I'll definitely ask the CRM team to get in touch and release the list of this. Team, just make a note of all the list of documents what will be shared. Thank you for that, sir. Are we allowed to sell, transfer or flat before registration? Sir, so regarding this, whatever is applicable in the agreement of sale, so that would be applied, sir. So, this point would be whatever is mentioned in the agreement of sale, it would be done in accordance with that. Right? First of all, thank you for the session and clarifying on our questions. We are having kids in the house, can we have grills installed to the balcony? Yes, sir. Post handover, you can get the grills installed by your interior contractor. However, we will be sharing a common design for all the grills just to keep the elevation intact. So we will be sharing the design. You can get it executed by your contractor, sir. Please point to owners group or help create and add everyone. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. I'll ask team to immediately create a WhatsApp group with all the owners. So that will probably move through all the points much faster. Thank you for the suggestion. Would it be possible to provide a door for the entrance of the garbage chute? Just 1 second. Team, can you ask Krishna once? I think it should be provided. I'll just get back to that, sir. Will you be installing solar panels as well on the terrace? Yes, sir. Solar panels would be installed on the terrace. As per the government norms, we would be installing that. And the power which is generated from the solar panel would be used towards the common area lighting, right? So it would compensate for some component of the common area lighting, and yes, they will be there. Could you please share briefly what you mentioned in the, sir, that's not exactly on top of my mind. I'll ask the CRM team to get in touch with you. And if you can probably share your details, or you can reach out to the CRM team, they'll get in touch with you. Can quarantine rooms be arranged? No, sir. Quarantine rooms cannot be arranged in this. It's again not planned for. But however, we have planned for one sort of a last rites room in the facility, where when somebody passes away, they can where people can probably the last rites they can pay. Such a room has been provisioned for in the basement. So maybe in the case of any unforeseen things, that room can be used as quarantine room. I presume, right? So I'll just wait for a couple more minutes. Anybody has any questions, please reach out. But yeah, I think this was a good idea. We'll probably we'll ask the team to create a WhatsApp group with all the residents so that we can move things more quickly, right? For the person who asked for somebody already created and shared in a Zoom call. Perfect. So somebody has created my only thing is when somebody created, I want us to be the admin so that we can manage the group better. So if that is probably if that's created by our CRM, it's fine. If not, I'll ask the CRM to create an official one. Okay. Can you please explain drinking water strategy? So regarding the water, see there is an STP which is a sewage treatment plant that is for treating of all wastewater, and there's a water treatment plant. This water treatment plant essentially is used once the all the water which comes out of the borewell and the Manjira water also, I guess, passes through the water treatment plant, and it will be sort of treated for domestic purposes. Regarding drinking water, I think it's up to the end user. Either they can probably boil water, or probably these days most people are even ordering water cans. So it's up to them, sir. Do you have any pharma facility? No, sir, we do not have a pharma facility. But we'll see if we can ask the supermarket vendor to probably provide for that. We'll try for that, but nothing particularly a pharma facility is not there, sir.
There will be one door.
So regarding somebody asked for the door at somebody asked for a door at the garbage chute. There is one door from the corridor, sir. Yes, there is a door provided from the corridor. So from the corridor to to access the garbage chute, they have to access through the door. So so that it has that acts as a barrier and sort of a thing, right? Thank you for the time and dedication. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. And once again, I'm really excited to hand it over to you all and get the real feedback, because ultimately the real feedback for our effort and all the systems and all what we have created only comes when the customer has moved in and they have experienced the product. So I'm really keen and excited to hand over, and so I'm keeping my fingers crossed everything will go well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward for that. Thank you so much. How should we get our questions clarified afterwards? So you can reach out to the CRM, but more so let's do a process. What we'll try doing is we'll try setting up the WhatsApp group maybe in this coming week, and then we'll try adding all the customers in there, right? For those of you whose contact details are not there, it might take a little longer. Probably reach out to the CRM team or something. In case you are not added on to the group, please reach out to the CRM. We'll try doing it in this week, and then people can probably share their questions there, and it can be answered. Okay, there's some more questions coming in. Can we expect gas pipeline to be functional at the time of handover? How do we get that done? When will you show entrance design and clubhouse design? So the entrance design and clubhouse design we have shown in the entire presentation was about that. So in the beginning part we have spoken about that, and any which ways our team will be sharing this presentation post this. So in that you can go through, but whatever the entire designs and the renders we have shown it in the first 20 minutes. Sir. Next is, what can we expect gas pipeline to? Sir, gas pipeline will be functional by January, sir. So mostly by the time you move in, it will be functional, right? At the time of handover, no sir, it will not be done, because for the gas pipeline to be finished, the landscape work needs to be finished. It's part of the landscape work, right? And for the landscape work to start, we need to have a fire OC. So that's the chain of events. So after getting fire OC on 8th of September, we started the landscape works, and they would be all completed by end of Jan. So by that time, the gas system also would be commissioned, sir. So, and we expect the first move-ins also at that time, given that we'll be starting handovers in November, and approximately it takes 2 to 3 months, 3 months to do the interiors, and then people will move in. So it should be ready by the time you do the move-in, sir. Can electrical switches inside apartment move to better accommodate interiors? No sir, electrical switches, see this you talk with the interior person, sir. They might come up with better ideas, because I've seen in few of the apartments, what I've seen in different projects is that what we have provided in the part of the concrete wall, that you cannot chisel and put it in other side. But what generally interior people do is they do a wall paneling and then move it in that. So interiors has a better play around with this idea, sir, and I'm sure they would be aware of these things. Right? But chiseling the wall is not allowed. But you can always place generally they end up placing a sort of a beautiful panels and then move it in that. But yeah, it's possible that way. So your interior person would be better able to guide you. Recording would be shared. Yes, sir. Recording would be shared on YouTube, so you can probably and yeah, for those of you who have not followed our YouTube channel, please follow the YouTube channel, so that many such live many such content what we are generating and what we are creating, you can see. Like we have been constantly posting the updates of the project every month. So all of that would be there on the YouTube channel. So please follow the YouTube channel. Team, I'll request you to put the YouTube channel link in the comments. Please do that. So please follow the YouTube channel, sir. It was a great session. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, sir. Before I sign off, one thing I wanted to talk, sir. So regarding, I would request all of you, all those who have not reviewed, please go to Google and review, because the end of the day, again, it's our property, right? And now more so ever, it's more your property. So whatever you like, whatever you don't like, whatever is good, please mention it there, so that it will really help in prospective buyers to educate themselves, and it will really help in rate appreciation also. Sometimes what I've been seeing is, especially, I would like to share this thing, is that people only go and write negative comments, and I'm totally okay with negative comments, and they're expressing their viewpoints, and I'm totally okay with that. But whatever positive is also you share, because see, ultimately, if all we talk is negativity, right, then those who are reading and the prospective guy who's coming to buy here, he will, the property appreciation will take a hit. And we don't want it for anybody of us, right? Neither do I want a property depreciation, neither should you get any of it. So whatever you like good, you please go and mention it there. Whatever you don't like also, I would say mention it, but please probably go and put in your things. And yeah, I'm very open for critical feedback, and I would say thanks a lot for that. But whatever good is also that also you put it out, because I want the the prospective buyers, those who might be buying in resales or who might be buying our end inventory, I want them to have a total picture. It's not that everything is bad here, right? There will always be goods and bads everywhere, right? So please mention all those points. Team, can you share the link of the Google review? Please do that. Thank you so much. Namaste.